Good day people, thanks for joining me. My name is Nick and we're going to be reviewing Krakout II on the ZX Spectrum 48K. I'm not sure if this was an official release, but this is a trainer version for Infinite Lives. Released or published by Firefly Software in 1988. The original game Krakout was by Gremlin Graphics from 87. It's a breakout clone and we'll see how this plays compares to the original, but as I say, I'm doubtful whether this was an official release. Good music though. Right, here we go. It looks, the dynamics and graphics look identical to the original Krakout. What I would say about this game is it looks like someone's hacked into the original Krakout and then just designed different levels. That's what it seems to me. All the same power-ups there, all the same dynamics are there. But we'll play it anyway. If you're a fan of Krakout, it's good to have this, but I would view it really as like a data add-on rather than a new game. These faces appear every now and again. I didn't know who those faces were in the original review, but I was told it was Jack the Nipper. I haven't reviewed that game, but it's on the list to be able to do. Of course, you've noticed it's a breakout clone from the arcades, and that normally is, well, most of these clones normally are played vertically. This one's horizontally, so it's a little bit different there. We're not going to go all the way through the game because I've got infinite lives on this trainer. Interesting if you can get hold of it, but yeah, 1988. Excellent stuff, Firefly Software. I don't know too much about them. I do know there's a game called Firefly, which is a little bit confusing, but that's not by them. It's just a coincidence. It's the same name. I mentioned on the original Krakout review, my favourite breakout clone on the ZX Spectrum is Batty. That one's pretty good. The Bat's a lot smaller. The graphics are a bit more defined on that one. A bit more of an enjoyable experience too. This isn't too bad. I can tell already. If you haven't guessed, you have to just destroy all these bricks. But I can tell already this level's going to take ages. Yeah, I like the original levels better than this, whether it shapes up a bit further along down the line. It's a time eater, this one. If you've got some time to kill, load this up, or the original Krakout, and you know, time will go by quickly, and then you can go wherever you need to go. So if someone says to you, we're going to Disneyland, and you go, what, when? In 4 hours time. You go, oh wow, I can't wait that long. Have a game of this and it'll eat up the time really quickly. Only if that happens. I think we're beating a copyright sign here in green and white. Yeah. Not the most exciting game to watch, I wouldn't have thought. This review was going to go on for 16 hours. Only joking. Probably about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so till we get bored. But do watch the original review of Krakout if you haven't already to see how the two compare. But you'll see that they're very similar. We've viewed quite a lot of Spectrum games so far. If you're new to the channel, we do have playlists there. So click on the main channel and then the playlists tab. And click on ZX Spectrum. And we're getting on for, must be getting on for about 300 games now at the time of recording. So quite a lot there. But still more to go than we've actually reviewed. If I reviewed 10 a day for the rest of my life, I probably still wouldn't review all of them. Some games good, some games rubbish, a lot mediocre. Graphically, this was pretty stunning for the day. It's a clone. Right, let's get off this level. I don't know how many levels there are on this Krakout 2, but they've done a good job with the music. I can't remember immediately if that music was on the original Krakout 1. I should have loaded it beforehand. You can turn the trainer off in loading if you want the original experience, bar the older levels. I think you just have 3 lives on that one. Bat and Ball. Good. The original Bat and Ball game, of course, was Pong, which I think came out on the original Atari's 2600 and BBC Micro and the like, where it's just 2 bats either side, 2 players, moving your bat and ball forward, playing tennis. That was exciting days. So this game would have seemed, oh dear, this game would have seemed extremely advanced then. Are you old enough to have owned Pong? Not Pang, that's the Japanese thing, you have to destroy balloons. But are you old enough to have had Pong? Did you have a BBC Micro or Atari 2600? I'm a little bit, although I'm getting on in years, I'm a little bit too young for the Atari 2600. If I'd been born about 5 or 6 years earlier, I probably would have played that straight away, the wooden device. My entry into gaming was the ZX Spectrum 48K. Could have been the 16K, but it's 48K I come in at. And on the school playground, the main two challenges back in the day. It was exciting times then where you can code games, but back in the day, the main rivals were the Commodore 64 or the ZX Spectrum 48K. And in our playground, the ZX Spectrum 48K seemed to win because that's the system that most people owned. But it did have more memory than the ZX Spectrum. But there we go, and that would continue to rage. Sometimes on the internet you do get people still raging about these fights today, and that won't change, whether it's what's better, the PlayStation or the Xbox or PC, or ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64, Amiga or Atari ST. Amstrad CPC didn't seem to get mentioned too much in the day. I didn't have too many friends that owned that one. But I like to look at. I don't like to get too involved in the retro argument unless it's for some kind of podcast debate or something. But because then it's interesting. But then I just like seeing the whole of retro history. I get asked quite a lot, and no doubt I'll keep getting asked despite putting videos up about what I cover and what I don't cover. But I do get asked, are you going to do Commodore 64 or any other systems? And I always say no. Sometimes it's by the same people that can't remember what my last answer was, but sometimes I don't answer those. But yeah, the Commodore 64 is a good system, Amstrad CPC is a good system, but I won't be covering reviews on those, or the Apple II or PC. There we go. We just keep to the ones that we're doing. Because the idea is you can build up a catalogue, you can compare the good and the bad ones. There's thousands and tens of thousands of gaming reviewing sites. They've all got their niches, what they want to do. Some just concentrate on one system alone, which is quite nice. But you know, I want to cover at least a few, but I don't want to cover too many because then the whole thing becomes diffused. Right, here we go. This level doesn't look too difficult. Oh, there's a fly there. And it ended up like the fly in Test Drive 2, where it's splattered on the windscreen. You see that there's power-ups every now and again. We've got a power-up that's activated the back wall. At some point, because I've got infinity lives on, at some point we're going to have to draw this to a close, I think. Right, that fly isn't going to cause too much problems. You can go through the wall as well. The first Breakout clone I ever played was on the ZX Spectrum again, on the original Horizons tape, which came with the rubber-keyed ZX Spectrum 48K. It was called Through the Wall, which I've also reviewed, if you want to check that out, a long time ago, as we get two balls activated. There are quite a lot of programs on that, I think. There was one called Foxes and Hounds. It's just like a simulation to see what would happen to a population of foxes and hounds, depending on how much food was available, how much of the others are eating the other ones. There we go. So that was quite interesting as well, but not really a game as such. Yeah, okay, I don't know how many levels there are on this. Millions and pedillions, I presume. Probably can fit quite a lot in the memory there. Graphics look slightly different here. It looks like we've got barrels to hit, have we? Was it barrels on boxes? Enemies being generated, but you can crash into those, I believe. Sounds to be as expected from a game like this, but it's all been coded by original Gremlin Graphics. Who are this Firefly Software outfit? Do you know? Let me know. This is the bit where someone says, Nick, you've already reviewed another game by Firefly Software. And I say, oh, have I? Oh, I didn't remember. I made a bit of a boo-boo the other day where I said we needed to review Xenon on the ZX Spectrum, but we already have ages ago. So it's good to get to this point where I can't remember what I reviewed, because that means I must have reviewed quite a lot of stuff. But I haven't done the boo-boo yet where I've accidentally reviewed the same game twice, unless I've announced it in a revisited series. The idea between revisited was when my sound wasn't very good at the start. Some games we do review a lot more than once. We'll be doing a series like Speedball 2 on the PlayStation 3 and Drive Club, things like that. Boom. Right, and we've got two barrels to get here, and then we're there. Oh, I don't know how many lives I've lost so far. Quite a lot, I think. Right, one left. Let's hit it. Oh no, these Jack the Nipper faces are getting in my way now. There we go. That's got it, is it? No. Close to that. That's it. Oh, yes. That's it. Surely that's it. What else? Was there a blue? Perhaps that blue one behind I need to get as well. Right. Because those ones you can't destroy. That one on the back wall, touching the back wall, I need to get that somehow. That's it, is it? No. Man. That's it. Oh look, I've got it with the other ball. Good, right. I think we'll leave that there. We've seen enough. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Krakout II by Firefly Software in 1988. Not sure if it's an official release, as I said. A sequel to Krakout by Gremlin Graphics the year before. If you've got any comments about this game, any breakout clones, or anything retro, then please put them below. And next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye.